NBA player, Shannon. He was all NBA. He was all NBA.
You're both right. You're both right. Stephen A is right. Ben Simmons' injury, or whatever, he had back injury too, in addition to his other issues, short-circuited the prime of that team. And Shannon is right. It could have been a terrible, terrible decision to give him this contract, knowing what his injury history was, knowing the condition of his knee. He had 2 years on his contract. There was not an relenting pressure to give it to him. But Shannon has a good point. If you're injured throughout your career, being under contract for 5 years may not have been the best decision. I think both of you are making compelling points. My point is, this injury, this one he's dealing with right now, it's not a black and white issue. It's shades of gray, and that's made it frustrating for everybody.
But that's a good man on Stephen A. Wendy, that's a large man on both knees. If you weigh 300 pounds, the first thing I got a friend that need knee replacement, and the doctor say you got to lose weight, son. So I'm just trying to figure out. This man is 7 foot tall, over 7 foot tall. He weighs over 300 pounds. How is he going to get healthy?
It's not.
I think I just won my taxes.
Oh yeah?
I just switched from TurboTax to H&R Block. It was so easy. You mean I don't have to go back through all this to switch? Nope.
It's easy to switch from TurboTax to H&R Block.
That's crazy.
Anthony Davis' incredible night debut started with 26 points, 16 rebounds. Touchdowns in the third quarter. Davis is expected to sit out multiple weeks because of a left adductor strain. His absence could stretch to a month, sources said. Then last night, the Mavs' Daniel Gafford suffered a knee injury and may also be out for some time. Stephen A. Oh my goodness. And Wendy's back here with us too. I said, do you feel like the Cavs are done?
You mean the Mavs?
I'm sorry.
Don't worry about it. I think they're probably done for this season. I'm hoping out Anthony Davis because for the games that he's been primarily healthy over the last 2 years. Played 36 games last year, played 42 or 47 games this year with the Lakers before being moved. And by the way, of this, he's 61 over the last few years. He's played in 60 of them. So he doesn't.
Stephen A. took over.
So give credit where credit.
The Mavs are done.
Here's what I'm concerned. I got to say this, guys, with all seriousness, and Wendy, you'll appreciate where I'm coming from with this. So will you, Shannon. I'm very, very worried for Nico Harris. Here's why. You make this move to move Luka out. Obviously, it's something that ownership, if not enforced, to be quite honest. He's 6 years younger than me.
Meanwhile, the Lakers are blowing niggas out without Luka at all.
In depth.
Hold on, Stephen A. Hold on, time out. Let me talk my shit. I'm tired of this shit, bro. Yo. Meanwhile, the Lakers are blowing niggas out without Luka. And then with him, they blowing out the fucking Utah Jazz. Oh my God. All right, keep going, Stephen A. Talking about
increased security and all of this other stuff. Well, how do you think they gonna feel if Luka's out on the court and Anthony Davis continues to remain out? They're speculating that it's about a month. Then you gotta look at the rest of the guys. Daniel Gafford goes down last night with a knee injury. Lively's been out with an ankle. He's about to be reevaluated somewhere around in the next 2 weeks. DJ Washington has been out with the ankle injury. He's missed 4 of the last 5 games. Even Caleb Martin, even though I think he had a hip injury, if I remember correctly, something along those lines. I'm just looking at the injuries that they've had. And so, it's one thing for the move to be made, It's another thing for people to be acting the way that they're acting, which is inexcusable.
And then hold on, I'm sorry, because I know ESPN is not gonna like this, but this is just real. LeBron is 40. He's dunking on niggas. Your favorite new nigga. He's dunking on. He's fucking 40.
Usable, by the way, and none of us should tolerate that. And on top of it all, they're half game out of the eighth playoff spot. With these guys out, who knows if they'll be able to hold on? Yeah. Who knows if they won't knock themselves out of the playing? And I'm just worried about the whole situation right now. I hope Anthony Davis is able to get back on the basketball court and do it.
I'm not saying the Lakers gonna win the title this season, but this is undoubtedly the most fucked up trade in NBA history. Oh, this going down in history. The revolution will be televised.
I hope things simmer down and die down, because right now, from what I'm hearing, it's been a bit hectic in Dallas. It's been a very, very unpleasant for them.
The worst part was the Marion.
And they had a brutal loss.
Go ahead, Wendy. Go ahead, my man.
Sorry.
Go ahead, Wendy.
Go ahead, Wendy. Go ahead, Wendy. No.
Here's why.
Brutal loss.
Go ahead, Wendy. Go ahead, Wendy.
They had a brutal loss last night, guys. Double-digit lead in the fourth quarter at home. DeRozan forces overtime. Then they thought they had him in OT, and DeRozan gets him again. So you have the decision to trade Luka here, and the decision to play Anthony Davis coming off the abdominal injury here. Technically, these are two separate decisions, but people are going to put them together. And especially their fans are going to put them together. Now, I am not a doctor. I have no idea whether the injury to the groin, the adductor, has to do with the abdominal injury, but it's not a giant leap to figure that maybe they brought him back a little too soon. Also, they brought him back in a game against Houston, where they're playing the potentially top playoff team. He's got to deal with that guy right there up there in Shannon, as opposed to putting him coming back against the Jazz, which is how the Lakers brought back Luka last night in a low-stress game. You'll just never know. The Mavericks have had terrible injury luck this season. Again, the Luka trade is over here. The injury luck is over here. They're two separate things, but I've tried to point this out and I've failed. People are connecting them. There's nothing that can be done. They've had 5 bad injuries to centers this year. So you mentioned Lively, broken ankle. Anthony Davis is now out for considerable time. I think he's going to avoid surgery in the short term, but he's going to be out a while from what I understand. You have Gafford last night, who's a starter quality center. They have 3 starter quality centers. He bangs his knee. And guys, farther down the line, Maxi Kleber, the guy they traded with Luka, he broke his foot a couple weeks ago. And Dwight Powell, who's a serviceable backup center, who they could be playing, he's been out.
Hold up, Wendy. Hold up, Wendy. If you don't believe in the Illuminati, you better believe in that. Go ahead, Wendy.
Injury with no return in sight. Not to mention, you got Kyrie Irving dealing with a disc injury to his back, where he's got to be really careful about that going forward. They can't just say, okay, Kyrie, now you play 38 minutes a game to carry us in. And PJ Washington, another one of their bigs, has been injured. So this team is having a terrible season, independent of the Luka thing, and it's probably going to derail their playoff seeding, if not derail their playoff plans altogether. And I don't think people are ever going to be able to consider that has anything to do with anything with the Luka trade.
Damn, Mavs training staff. When do you remember when the Lakers training staff, when everybody was getting hurt and after the end of the season, they cleared that training staff out? I would not be surprised if that were to happen to the Mavs staff. Because there's something going on when you have these kind of significant injuries and you have key guys missing this amount of time. I understand that injuries are a part of the game, but when you have this combination of injuries, something needs to change. I did not know Kyrie Andrew had this back injury. I was going to say he's going to need to be Uncle Drew. And he's going to have to be Uncle Drew for a significant amount of time. But him being Uncle Drew, I don't know if he's able to carry this team, especially in the loaded West. I feel bad for Nico Harrison. You make this kind of move, and like you said, anytime in any sport, when you move a guy like a Luka, or you find the equivalent player in football or the equivalent player in baseball, hockey, that's coming from that's the one down the flagpole. That's all the way from the top. Because Nico Harrison is not doing this deal, Stephen A. You know this, and Wendy also. He ain't doing this deal on his own to trade that guy for what they got. Oh no. Management, upper management.
Oh no.
Guy says, okay, so we signing off on this. No, Nico Harrison's going to take the blow. Ain't nobody even looking at the owner. I don't even know who the owner is. Dumont, I think that's his last name.
Yeah, Dumont.
Ain't nobody even mentioned Dumont. It's all Nico conspiracy, but Nico takes his order from a higher. So it's a very, very bad situation.
In light of Wendy, of how the reaction has been, and Dumont already coming out and alluding to the Jordans and the Kobes of the world and the winning ingredients that they have, and that's the kind of player that we want on our squad, et cetera, et cetera. It would, I think it would bode well, and I've never done this before, but I think it would bode well for the owner to come flat out and say, yeah, we wanted to do that. That's my decision. That's what we told. That's what did he say? I know he said we wanted to do it, but I'm talking along the lines of ordering. Yeah, I ordered Nico to do it. He ordered the whole thread. That's what I'm talking.
I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true. I think so. First off, Patrick Dumont, who I've had the chance to meet on several occasions,
yes,
he comes off as a very mild-mannered person. And this interview that he gave the Dallas Morning News that published on Sunday was fiery. And really, more than anything that he said, he kind of implied that Luka sometimes was on vacation. He didn't say exactly those words, but he referenced that. He basically said, I back Nico 100%. And he praised his intellect and he praised the decisions he's made. And so, you know, he didn't say he ordered it, but he made it very clear that he tied himself to Nico Harrison and supported Nico Harrison. And I know that Jason Kidd technically hasn't done it, but I'm putting those three together. I think Patrick Dumont, the governor, Nico Harrison, the general manager, and Jason Kidd were on the same page about this, and they will go forward together. And if there's infamy that comes from this, which is on the table, they will all three wear it. And Patrick Dumont made sure to put that on Sunday in that interview.
Yeah. All I was saying to Wendy, the only reason I brought it up is because of the kind of heat Nico is taking compared to him and Jason Kidd. You know, there's one person, you know what I'm saying, that's taking major heat in terms of literally there needing to be extra security, death threats, all of this other stuff. I mean, there's one person we've heard of that being aimed at. And I'm just looking at it. All I'm saying to those, I'm not accusing them of doing it. All I'm saying is don't leave Nico hanging. Don't leave him like that.
I think the opposite approach of you, Stephen A. I think they should just stop talking about it. Because in the history of sports, we've never seen this age.
No, run that back.
Don't leave him hanging.
I think the opposite approach of you, Stephen A. I think they should just stop talking about it. Because nothing is going to soothe this. In the history of sports, we've never seen a guy this age get traded that didn't quit the trade, that had no idea a trade was coming. You don't see guys. This would have been the equivalent of trading Gretzky at 25, trading Jordan, Kobe, Braun at 25, and they're not asking to leave their situation. Trading Mike Trout at 25, Shohei Ohtani at 25, and they're not asking to be traded. And so it doesn't matter if he says, yes, I demanded this. They don't care. They don't care who's wearing the code red. If the fact of the matter is that Luka is no longer a Dallas Maverick. You're talking about one of the great players, the way he was headed. You know, a guy that's averaging 29, 9, and 8 for a career, and he's 25, and you moving? I don't believe anything is going to make it better, Stephen A. It doesn't matter, you know, it's a situation where like, your mom and your grandma used to beat you, and the next day, baby, you want something to eat? No, I want nothing to eat. You just gave me a whipping, and now you trying to make me feel better. So, Patrick, I don't
know if that was a good example. Because guess what? After they whipped our ass, if they ordered us some food, we gonna eat it anyway. Because we don't want to get hit more.
But here's the thing, Stephen A. If the ownership, if the governing body says, yes, we ordered Nico to do this, is that gonna make it better? Me getting food, I still remember what happened just 5-10 minutes ago. You told me, you got me good, Brady. You got me good. Now, I will eat these biscuits. I will eat the chicken. I will do it. But I just want you to know, you got me.
Okay.
Wanna try to post like what I